Conceptual art. What is conceptual art? It is an art that is intended to convey an idea or concept to the perceiver and doesn't involve the creation or appreciation of a traditional art object such as painting or sculpture. Although the commercial or a communal aspect of the work is often a set of instructions for what exists in the artist's mind.
Conceptual art movement ideas prioritize over the formal or static aspect of the artwork. Conceptualism has taken many different forms, including performances, happenings, and ephemeral objects. Conceptual artists created works and writings from the mid-60s to the mid-70s and completely rejected conventionally notion of an art. Their main argument implied that issues such as aesthetics, expression, skill, and marketability were not important factors in judging art, and that the mere expression of an artistic idea was sufficient to be considered a work of an art. Conceptual artists contrast their influences back to Marcel Duchamp's ready-made you appended, the very idea of what constitutes a work of art. They have abandoned beauty, rarity, and skill as criteria for judging art, just like Duchamp did before them. Conceptual artists are conscious of the conceptual nature of all art. This practice has been dubbed the dematerialization of art by some. Conceptual artists were influenced by minimalism's stark simplicity but disapproved of its adoption of sculpture and painting conventions as the foundations of artistic creation. Art does not have their symbol a traditional work of art or even take any physical form in the eyes of conceptual artists. Many works of conceptual art are self-aware or self-referential. They push the boundaries of art by using simple materials including text, just like Duchamp and other modernists did. Conceptual art and language. The Art and Language Group was founded in 1967 and is a collaboration of important conceptual artist influences. The first Art and Language Journal was released in 1969 and was regarded as an important influence on conceptual art in the United States and United Kingdom. Sol LeWitt was a huge contributor to the Art and Language Group when he first published an article in the magazine called Sentences on Conceptual Art in 1969. Conceptual art and skill. An important difference between conceptual art and more traditional forms of art goes to the question of artistic skill. It is difficult to argue that no skill is required to make conceptual works, or that skill is always absent from them. It is not so much an absence of skill that defines conceptual art as an evident disregard for conventional, modern notions of authorial presence and individual artistic expression. Where did conceptual art originate? French artist Marcel Duchamp paved the way for conceptualists, providing them with examples of early conceptual works, the ready-mades. Conceptual art emerged as a recognized art movement in the 1960s. The term conceptual art wasn't coined until the 1950s. The term was first used by Edward Kenholz.
Conceptual artists, they don't sit out to make a painting or sculpture and then fit their ideas to that existing form. They think beyond the traditional media restrictions and then work out their ideas using whatever materials is appropriate to that idea. Marcel Duchamp Fountain on 1917, the original photograph by Alfred Stieglitz. An ordinary object could be elevated to the dignity of a work of art by the mere choice of an artist. Fountain is a transformed urinal that challenges traditional art concepts created in 1917 and remade in 1964. It questions the necessity of craftsmanship in art and the role of the artist. Duchamp's piece sparks philosophical debates about the nature of an art, its transformation power. Sul Lewitt's wall drawings demonstrates the intersections between abstract and conceptual art, although they embody abstractions, geometry shapes, and colors. They also redefine traditional concepts about discrete, original, and artworks. In One and Three Chairs, Joseph Cossot represents one chair three ways, as a manufactured chair, as a photograph, and a copy of a dictionary entry for the word chair. The installations it does compose of an object, an image, and words. In this sense, Naumann's neon sign isn't only an object, it is a process, something that continues to make us think about art, artist, and the role that language plays in our conception of both. The words continue to ask this of each beholder who encounters them. Thus, the artist, the true artist, really reveal mystical truths or confined to the specific culture that it was made in. If we are to believe the statement, remember, it is not necessarily Naumann's, he merely borrows it from our shared culture, then we might, for example, recognize Leonardo da Vinci as a Neoplatonic artist who showed us ultimate and essential truths through painting. On the other hand, if we reject the statement, then we should probably recognize the art as just another producer of a specific set of objects that we call art.
Tracy Emin Unmade Bed.
The idea for my bed was inspired by a sexually depressive phase in the artist's life when she had remained in bed for 4 days without eating or drinking anything but alcohol. When she looked at the vile, repulsive mess that had accumulated in her room, she suddenly realized what she had created.
Martin Creed's chair is a conceptual artwork that challenges traditional notions of art and its presentation. By simply placing a chair in an exhibition space, Creed prompts viewers to reconsider the everyday object, its function, and its significance in an artistic context. The work invites reflection on themes of absence, presence, and the mundane, encouraging a dialogue about how we perceive and interact with the objects around us.
Sol Lewitt's contrazoin refers to the idea of structured conceptual art that emphasizes the process of creation over the final product. It encapsulates his ultimate belief in art as a set of instructions or ideas, inviting viewers to delve into the concepts behind the work rather than just its visual appearance.
Conflicts with conceptual art. Some have argued that conceptual art continued dematerialization of art by removing the need for objects altogether, while others saw conceptual art as a radical break with formalist modernism. When Marcel Duchamp submitted this piece, Fountain, in the Exhibit Society of Independent Artists in New York, it was rejected. A commonplace object such as urinal cannot be art because it is not made by an artist or with any intention of being art, nor is it unique or handcrafted.
For the important facts, most conceptual art actively sets out to be controversial. The job of conceptual artists is to encourage a revisionary understanding of art, artist, and artistic experience, because conceptual art is dependent upon the text surrounding it. It is strongly related to numerous other movements of last century.